y'all. Welcome to another episode of Grow, Glow, and H.O.E podcast. Blow the whistle. Thank y'all for joining us. Before we get started, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Friend, how we doing?
We doing real good. Like good.
Right. What we hoeing on today?
We hoeing over something that is so connected to my current situation of healing.
Okay.
That I'm curious to know, how have you countered it?
Okay.
How have you displayed it? And what are your suggestions to our audience? And that is, the topic is facts over feelings. Okay. Let me say that again.
Okay.
Facts over feelings.
Amen.
So my question to you is, can you describe or share a circumstance or scenario where you realize you're not arguing the facts anymore because now you're arguing feelings?
Wow, you just gonna hit me with all that, huh? This what we on today, huh? Not where we going. This is where we going today.
That's where we on today.
Okay. Whew. Okay. So I think that for me is something that happens more often than not, where I want you being whoever I'm engaging in conversation, in relationship with, I want you to understand my feelings instead of introducing logic and fact. Because most times when I'm emoting, most times when I'm even sharing what I'm going through, what I'm facing, I'm telling you how it feels to me. And how it feels to me is valid, right? I don't need you to come in with the logistics. If I say I'm cold, I don't need you to come in with, the weather today shared that it was going to be a low 50 degrees and possible rain. I just need you to acknowledge that I said I'm cold. I just need you to honor and acknowledge the feelings that I've shared and not always introduce fact. That's what I need, right? Then once we get into that, I'm okay with hearing the logic. I'm okay with hearing the facts, but don't let the facts override what I have just shared are my feelings. That jams my Glock.
Ooh.
Okay. that just jams my Glock. That just jams my Glock.
That's going to be one of our merch. Yeah. Okay. Go to our website or link in the bio, okay? Link in the bio for the merch. That jams my Glock.
That jams my Glock.
Yes.
Because I'm over here sharing with you how I feel, and you want to sit here and tell me the fact. And one doesn't override the other, but don't just dismiss my feelings so that you can hurry up and get to the fact. Now, the other part of that is, that does not mean that my feelings are always right. My feelings are always valid. But my feelings aren't always right. And I'm okay with that too. But again, honor and respect that I'm sharing my feelings. And then you can usher baby back in the facts.
Rewind it back. Usher baby.
Take that and rewind it back.
So I hear what you're saying.
Yes.
And I don't disagree. Whew, girl. So I'm going to bring this mic in a little bit, because this is the episode I am going to intentionally dedicate to the person that I was dating off and on for 13 years. Like,
it's the dedication.
What a camera.
You know what I want to mess up? This song's dedicated. Like, I just want to bust into that gangster lean, but go ahead.
I'm going to say it with my whole chest. Looking, sir. You know who you are. This episode I'm dedicating to you because I attribute my growth because of my experience. And so what I'm going to say is, I hear everything you just said and I do not disagree. In fact, it's not even for me to disagree because it's your experience, right? I was the same way for me, where the person that I was dating would say all the time, I can't argue your feelings. I'm not going to argue your feelings. And my stance was, you're not arguing my feelings. I'm just asking you to understand what I'm saying.
And acknowledge.
And when I fast forward to, my sister and I going through our boundary destination, I saw it so clear, and it was like the spirits telling me this is the manifestation of what your experience in the past was. Now you know how to handle it because you have been there, so you know what this is. So I was prepared back then, where I used to tell him all the time, well, that's how I feel. You're not validating what I'm feeling, and da-da-da-da-da, right? And he would often say, I'm not arguing with you about your feelings. I'm talking about the facts. And now I'm real mad because I don't want to hear about no goddamn facts. Fact on this. I want you to say that you was wrong because in this scenario, you was wrong.
Because that's a fact.
Right? Well, in fact, this man been cheating before. He been seeing other women, not just me. Was he wrong for me to stay? No. Ooh. His behavior was wrong because he didn't govern himself accordingly. But was he wronging me when I've already been accepting it for so long? You know what I'm saying? Like the lessons I've learned, that the lies I used to tell myself was, this person is responsible for. He knew that I wanted this, or I'm supposed to be this type of person to him. I knew you didn't. And all the while, after the first time, I didn't have to stay. After the second time, I didn't have to stay.
Because how do you force somebody, and you in the plural sense, right? Us. How do we force somebody to honor our feelings over a fact that we've been accepting and been playing along and playing into this whole time? But now that I'm tired of it, or now that I've had enough, now I want you to honor my feelings over the facts. And so...
Yes. Fast forward to the scenario I have going on with my sibling. Okay. I love her. She's one of the most amazing women that I know. Taught me some things, and I'm the older sister, right? TMI, I learned how to use a feminine care product because of my sister. See? And I grew up in a house with a stepmother, a woman, who didn't teach me that. So I attribute a lot of my growth as a woman to my sister. Yeah. But I also have learned that now that I'm in this space for myself in the healing, I can look and see clearly there are some traits that we were taught from infancy that does not translate well when it comes to the opposite sex. Yes. So we may be lovable women, but our behaviors don't translate that way. And it becomes a toxic thing. And it wasn't until the person that I was with for so long kept pointing those out that I realized that he didn't leave me. I didn't really leave him. My spirit desired more, and I have to do the work, which means I have to let that part of my life go. But what I also learned is I need to revisit that part in order to be the better version of myself. So because I'm revisiting it, I'm remembering the things I learned through him that I see through my sibling. And it's the audacity that we talked about before that is saying, I'm getting ready to argue your feelings. You feel this way because of this. But let's talk about the scenario. Why you feel that way? Because I might have said no because of this. So when you say you want me to validate your feelings, you're not saying you want me to validate the fact. You want me to validate your complacency. I'm not doing that. We're either going to argue the fact, or we're not going to argue at all. Yeah. That's a word. I learned that. So
there's a fact that we play a part in some of our toxic relationships. Facts. It's not always the other person.
Facts. 90% it's not the other person. Because how you going to blame them for something that you've been complacent in? You could have stopped that a long time ago too.
Yeah. Because they are who they are. And they probably... well, then there's the ones who bring the representative, but they probably showed up as this person. Yeah. And instead of looking at the reality, we began to look at the potential. Yeah. And so the fact is, now our feelings are hurt because they're not showing up as the potential, but they're showing up as the reality of who they are.
That collection plate. Like, come on.
We need to start having some bands to make her dance.
Facts. I'm gonna get a money gun.
Because, so then, like you said, we're looking at them like, you're also toxic, and you're this, and you're that, and you've done this, and you've done that, and you destroyed me. No, boo-boo kitty. You allowed yourself to be complacent in who they were. Yes. Who they presented, who they showed up as, and now your feelings are hurt. And now you want to sit here and talk about your feelings over the facts. So it goes both ways. I think there's a time for facts and there's a time for feelings.
Right. And totally agree with that.
And I don't think either is right or wrong. I just think based on whatever moment we're in, whatever situation it is, that's when we decipher if we need to focus on the facts right now or our feelings.
Right. And I feel like the person who's focusing on the facts will be the one who governs that facilitates that. Because if you know that you're arguing feelings, at some point you go, you're right.
Yeah.
I hear you.
It's fine.
It's fine. Right? Because and then a person could feel placated at the same time. But the truth is, they realize there's no win. Right. It's like arguing with someone who is so embedded in Christianity that they don't hear anything else other than this version of their religion. Right. Where do you go when someone says, I'm just going to let the Lord handle it?
Right. But what are you
talking about this eviction?
Right. That he probably gave you a way out of months ago, and you chose to keep going on that road.
So So the Lord showing up in court now? Like, faith without works is
dead
work. You know what I'm saying? Like, people will offload God just to say, I don't know. Or I don't have the answer. Or let me figure it out. Yeah. Versus just saying, I don't know. I don't have the answer. Let me figure it out.
Right.
Now I'm going to let God take care of it.
Now I'm going to let him take care of it. Right. Right. You better say it, friend.
Yeah, my spirit.
How do you navigate being in close relationship? And this could be intimate relationship or, platonic. How do you navigate being in close relationship with someone who is just one track, meaning all they do is focus on facts and they never, introduce their feelings, or they're only so emotional and all about feelings and never, want to, because I think it is important for us to realize that everybody's not going to be like us, just like we're not going to be like everyone. So I can't expect Nakia to show up as Talitha every single time. The only thing I would ask is that, Nakia would be compassionate or empathetic to what Talitha is saying, feeling, whether it's fact or feeling. But I can't expect you to show up as what I want. So how do we navigate being in relationship with people who like are polar opposite? Like they never incorporate the two.
I don't.
Well,
I just don't.
Amen.
I'm not dating anyone. I mean, kind of sidebar. I'm not dating anyone. Am I interested in dating? I am, but I'm not ready. But I do go on the apps occasionally just to kind of see, like, okay, right. And I swipe left every time. Which one is it? Left is the good or the bad? I don't know, girl. I think I'm on that be okay app. You know what I'm saying? Because I just want to swipe. Right. So whatever it is, I swipe if you are a fitness junkie.
Okay.
Because you're to meet, you have a regimen.
Right.
I swipe if you were in the military because that means you're very, no, let me take that back. I don't swipe when you're in the military. I swipe when you say certain things and I see that you were in the military, but I see some of the things you wrote. I'm like, oh, you're very like this. And it doesn't have to be a bad thing.
No, just not for you.
Yeah. I'm a social butterfly. Yeah. And I need my relationships to match, which is why my tribes now have drastically changed. I got my professional tribe, my twerking tribe, my twerk and professional tribes. My tribes, they merge in some way or another, that if you don't fit the mold that brings the best out of me, I can't.
So how did you get there? Because I don't know, maybe you were always there, but how did you get, because I know for me, I definitely had to grow into the, I won't, I'm not, to stand firm on what it is I want or can provide or, or am willing to accept. I had to grow into that. How did you get to that? I don't.
The relationship that I was in, I learned, I go back to this person because this person was really my teacher.
Okay.
Right. And I'm still learning from our distance. This person taught me that I have the right, period. I have the right to say, I don't want to be in this. I have the right to say, I don't agree to this. And it wasn't just with him, because I was avoiding doing it to him, that I was doing it to other people in my relationships, which is why some of my networks changed, because I don't take time. I'm not tolerant to a lot of things. And once I redirected and really took into perspective that, was I saying yes to this person or was I saying no to this person? And once in our previous conversation that we had in another episode, we talked about sitting in your shit for so long until you're ready to make it a change. That once I realized I was done sitting in my own shit and accepting behaviors that I didn't want for myself, that I wasn't giving, I decided, no, I don't want this anymore. I'm ready to say no. So when I said no to the person who had the most power, I shared it with people I genuinely didn't want to be around.
And see, for me, I think I have had several of those young men.
Not the
That's what I'm going to call them. I'm just going to call them young men. They were not, but that's probably the nicest thing I can say right now. But I think I've had several of those situationships because I honestly felt like I was the only one in the relationship. So we'll just call them situationships.
Facts.
Yeah. Because I was in it with them and they were in it with me, Shanae, Shaquita, and all the others. Yeah.
I was in a situationship too.
Uh-oh. Facts.
And my name is Shanae.
But yeah, so what you experienced with, the gentleman that we've dedicated this episode to, I think I've experienced that with a few, right? And the common denominator was me.
Yes.
Because I attracted the insecurity, the feelings, the self-doubt,
I got your beat.
The lack of confidence, the fear. I was portraying that, so they were like, well, she's insecure. I can do whatever I want to do with her. Let me latch on to her.
And if somebody asked you anything, what did you say? I plead the fifth. Okay. You weren't ready to move until you was ready to move.
No, was not ready until God continued to work on me and break me all the way down.
Yes.
To build me back up. By the way, this is on Amazon, Beauty and the Breakdown. Get you a copy. Okay?
Let's go, Arthur friend.
But I wasn't ready to even accept my part in my own demise.
Yes. When you accepted your part, now this is because, again, another level of my healing, I recognize. When you finally got to the point to where you accepted your part, where did your part root from? Come on, Hilly.
Over everything.
Woo.
Wow. Rooted from childhood. Rooted from, yes, I had two loving parents. No, they weren't together. They got divorced when I was really young. Still had, love from both sides. But rooted really from childhood and just different things that happened. I did not have nice step parents on either side. I did not have step parents that, really understood that the parent of mine they were married to, I was a package deal. Like, I'm not going anywhere. I came with her and I came with him. So, rooted in the childhood trauma that I first didn't even recognize was trauma. And second, I was too afraid to heal. So I allowed it to manifest and fester and come out of me. And it actually even traveled into my womb so that my son passed through.
Come on.
My baby passed through all of that trauma. And I didn't recognize it until he was of age. And so, now at almost 24, he's in therapy, having to undo, and I'm not carrying the brunt of his, trauma or his need for healing because that's his path. But I'm taking accountability for how I parented him when I was broken.
Ooh, girl.
And that's a fact.
And that's
not
fact.
a feeling.
Isn't it funny how that the gentleman,
the young man,
they were just a conduit.
Uh-huh.
Literally.
Yeah.
They were the vessel to lead you to go back. And if it's this is dedicated to the previous, okay? The gentleman, the previous, all of you.
And this can go with girlfriends. Because I can tell you some girlfriends that I have had that were from a trauma bond compared to the friendships that we are cultivating and pouring into today, you being one of them. You know what I mean? That now I recognize positive female interactions that are feeding me and pouring into me, as opposed to the ones that were leaving me depleted. How do you drive a car with no gas when you're not putting gas in it? So I'm sitting here being a friend, giving all my gas, my resources, my water, my food, everything that sustains me, but wasn't getting poured back into.
Girl.
That's a fact.
2024 is a year of waterfalls, not drains. Okay? It's a waterfall season.
Yeah.
Yes. We have such similar stories, which is, again, the world will have the world think that Black women can't get along. Right. That's a lie. I don't have, and I haven't been in relationships where my friends flip things on tables, where we're out talking everyone in the room because we're yelling. Like, sorry. My friends.
But let him work, because God will let him work, okay? And I'm not saying my friends and I have flipped tables, but I've absolutely been the table flipper, okay? The table flipper. Listen, I flipped the table on baby daddy in Chili's, okay? What is all this food doing in? So, you know, judge your mama, y'all. I'm healing. I'm holding over everything. So judge y'all's mama. But sorry, Fred. I just, that's a fact. I was a table flipper. Okay. Because my feelings, I was upset. So I was a table flipper. Yeah. But amen. That's not your story. But there is still beauty in that breakdown. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead, friend. I apologize.
I'm sorry. Oh my God. That's hilarious. The yin and the yang, okay? Well,
she gonna twerk and I'm gonna crip walk. That's just
facts. Facts. Okay, yeah, we're definitely doing a twerk podcast. Right.
Oh God. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So that's not the spaces you're in. Gotcha.
You see, you need different people in your tribe. I know I got a table flipper.
Listen, you sure do.
Because when
run up and get done up. This is.
Let me tell you something. The code word is LaFons. LaFons just know LaFons tried us. And she said, don't make me call my dude. Listen, when you meet a girl that says, don't make me call my dude.
Listen, when you got super crips and the mob behind you, you have no fear to flip a table because they're going to pick it up. But okay, I'm sorry. I know that
took me
Let me through it, friend. Just let me through it.
This is why you need valuable relationships.
Yes.
Again, to your question, why I don't even entertain women who act just like me. There's something that's different about you. I'm inspired. Like, I don't have an older sister, so I look at other women as sisters, which is why when I say sister, I genuinely mean when I call someone a friend, I genuinely mean it. Because I realize that in this space called life, for me, I'm learning that everything that we have is a falsity. Like, I've been homeless before, so I know that it can happen again.
At the drop of a dime.
Right. And it can happen in the worst of circumstances and in the best of circumstances. So I don't govern my life based on my past, because I'm growing from that and I've learned from a lot of it.
Right.
I govern my life based on vibrational energy and interaction. How do you make me feel? Do you make me excited to show up? Because if I'm excited to show up, there's a blessing in there for me somewhere, which means I need to continue to show up. If I'm not excited to show up or be around you or you're in your group, I don't show up because
Right.
there's no blessing there.
Right.
In fact, I'm now going to either start having confrontation. I'm going to speak the way that you or the group of women speak, which is negative. I'll probably start gossiping. You know, I'm not doing anything that's going to bring a good positive outcome. Right. So for me, I'm governing myself and my feelings, right, which will translate to more facts. Right. Because my feelings are going to be based on the reality of what it is versus what I want it to be.
Right. And something else, you were just talking about, you know, your story and being homeless, and look how God has brought you through. Like you said, it doesn't mean it can't happen again. Mm-hmm. So when you say that, it makes me think of, don't let the facts of your life distract you from the faith of your life. Ooh. Because, baby, you could be on the street, but your faith is what carried you and your baby through. So, there she goes. So, you know, don't let the facts of your life distract you from the faith of your life. Yeah. You know, and your faith, for me, is a feeling. It's that feeling of knowing God's going to show up. And this isn't about, you know, religion. It is about relationship. God, Jesus, Allah, whatever y'all want to call it. You know, some of y'all even call him, her, the universe. Amen. I mean, it's Jesus over here on mine, and mine is so grammatically incorrect, but I just have to say that. It's Jesus on mine. But I'm just saying, like, you know, whatever God has for you is for you. And it doesn't matter what the facts look like. It doesn't matter what it feels like, looks like, tastes like, sounds like. Mm-hmm. The fact is, your faith can take you through some insurmountable odds of what you think are like, I can't climb this mountain. Yes. Lord, are you crazy? Yes. How am I supposed to get over that?
Yes. I know we only got like a few minutes left. So 100%. You had said something in the previous podcast about work. Mm-hmm. And when I turned the corner for work is after I was able to get into a wonderful organization that helps rehabilitate a person who's been transitionally through homeless, you know, like resources, therapy. So my first introduction to therapy, I was able to then really get myself back on track professionally. Okay. I redid my resume, you know, I rebranded my administrative space, got some more certificates under my belt. And that's when I started interviewing for better opportunities than just being someone's secretary or someone's admin amongst a sea of other admins. Having those abilities to scale in a space where I didn't realize that I didn't even think I can get through. I look back now and I go, it all happens for a purpose. Right. And I know we hear that all the time, like everything is for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. And we're like, yeah, I know, but can we get to
the reason?
Because everybody been telling me, your man is waiting on you. And I'm like, well, I'm 45 years old. But then I'm reminded that time isn't a real thing. Mm-hmm. And while I'm existing in this space called life, I'm going to correct all the wrongs that I see about me so I can be completely open for the things that are actually for me. So, yeah.
And when we think about it, there were facts that were presented that said this podcast shouldn't happen.
Facts.
But our feelings and our faith carried us through to make it here. And I think that goes for anything. Again, one doesn't override the other. There are feelings. Your feelings are valid. Sometimes the facts are valid. And it's marrying them and finding that balance, right, to get you to the next level of your whole phase.
Yes.
Healing over everything.
Healing over everything. So again, I just want to, before we close, say thank you so much. This is this conversation can go on, and it will because we got more episodes to come. But knowing that people should watch this podcast because we're not two women who are just putting something together to be seen and heard because we really don't even like the spotlight like this. Right. We are two women, and I speak for myself. I am a woman who's investing in this space with you because we are women who look like us. There are women out there who just say, I'm just the normal woman, and there's beauty in that. And oftentimes those women aren't celebrated because of what isn't publicized or celebrated by other people online. So my hope is women and men alike who find value in the authenticity of the language that they land here. Because if you're looking for anything else visually, this isn't the space. You're not ready to hoe. But if you're ready to hoe,
right.
type in the comments, I'm ready to hoe.
Meet us here. Merch coming. The link will be in the bio. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.